Alright, so welcome back to some more Apex. I hope you guys are having a very good day as always. And Apex has been out for just over a year now, and so many different changes have actually taken place since its original release back in February of 2019. So as we wait for Season 5, I wanted to bring you guys a video today taking a look at the evolution of Apex. When Apex first released, it was a very different game from what we have today, and I think it's just good to take a look at how far Apex actually came, and also how Apex has evolved through every single season. So if you guys are ready, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And real quick, tell me when you actually first began playing Apex. Was it Season 1? Was it Season 2? Was it Season 3? When was your first time actually playing Apex? Comment down below and let me know. And one more thing guys, if you're still part of the 90% of viewers who are not subscribed to this channel, if you enjoy my content, please take 2 seconds out of your day and click that sub button, because it does help out the channel in so many different ways. So if you're not subscribed guys, stop what you're doing and click that sub button. Now first up, we have Season 0. Season 0 was basically the bare bones version of Apex. It was a completely different game basically, and one of the most obvious things when thinking back to Season 0 right now is that the game was extremely easy because everyone was trash. Obviously back when Apex first came out, everyone was still getting accustomed to the game and their aim was off, their movement was off. So basically if you were playing Apex back then, it was extremely easy to drop high kills, get really good damage and stuff if you had any good knowledge of FPS games. And I basically played all of the big FPS games, so COD, Titanfall, Battlefield, Destiny, so I had a pretty good grasp of how to play Apex, but most people were struggling when Apex first came out. I don't even think that skill-based matchmaking was actually implemented into Apex during Season 0, so it was just a much more relaxed, casual and fun experience, and I kinda miss that because right now in Apex obviously everyone is sweaty, it's just a sweat fest, and it's just a very big contrast to how Season 0 actually played. Obviously we had the original Kings Canyon map. Some of the user interface was different as well. Like when you were firing at someone in Season 0, the damage numbers also looked different. So Season 0 was a very unique and different experience from what we have right now in Apex. If you guys began playing Apex during Season 0 or the original form of Apex, comment 0 in the comment section right now. So moving on to the first official season of Apex Legends, and this was obviously Season 1. Not gonna lie guys, I had a very small amount of playtime during Season 1 because I was in the middle of exams and stuff, so I didn't really get to experience the full glory of Season 1, but I still remember how the game played and what it was like during this time. So Season 1 saw the first brand new legend coming into Apex, and this was Octane. Octane really wasn't considered to be like a high tier legend back then, and obviously he still isn't considered to be a very high tier legend, but he was a very fun legend to use, even more fun back then because the skill in Apex, well at least in pubs, as I said, the skill still wasn't quite there and the game was just easier to play, so you could be very successful back then if you wanted to use Octane, and you can also just have a lot of fun because of how the game played. The map also remained the same, so Kings Canyon wasn't changed for Season 1, but what was changed was the Wingman. The Wingman saw a very big nerf like 1 week before Season 1 dropped, and this nerf was big because it reduced the rate of fire of the Wingman, it also increased the hipfire spread which made the hipfire even worse, and also it removed the Skull Piercer headshot multiplier damage. So this right here was the beginning of the downfall of the Wingman in Apex. Obviously the first battle pass was also introduced into Apex with Season 1, but other than that, Season 1 was still kind of like a very quiet season and not many changes could have been observed during Season 1. Now moving on to Season 2, which to me was a much bigger season and many changes actually took place during this time. So obviously first up we had a very big Kings Canyon map change. The Leviathans came into the map as well. So this right here was the first map change since Apex was released. Watson was also added into Apex for Season 2, and we all know how important Watson is right now in ranked. So this right here was a very big addition in terms of like the legend meta in Apex. I would say around Season 2 as well, around this time, the skill level in Apex was slowly but surely improving, so it wasn't as easy as it was when Apex obviously first released because players were getting more accustomed to the game, and I think Respawn actually began to implement skill-based matchmaking around Season 2. We had Disruptor rounds as well as Hammer Point rounds being added into the game, and this was a very big deal back then, especially Disruptor rounds if you guys could remember that. Another big change during this time was the huge Gibby and Caustic buff. Gibby and Caustic were basically buffed insanely in Season 2, and it made them extremely strong and viable legends. One of of the biggest additions in Season 2 as well was the introduction of Ranked. Ranked Series 1 was introduced in Season 2, and this was basically well received because everyone was asking for Ranked way before Season 2 even came out. Now moving on to Season 3. Season 3 was when I actually began to play Apex a lot. I began to post more videos on this channel as well, and this was when my channel actually began to grow a lot. So I have a very close connection to Season 3 of Apex. Now the most notable change of Apex Season 3 was obviously World's Edge, which is the brand new map that was introduced, and it was a kind of love-hate relationship with World's Edge because obviously people missed King's Canyon and World's Edge was a very different kind of map, but I personally really did actually enjoy World's Edge. What about you guys? Crypto was the Season 3 legend, and when he was first introduced into Apex he was kinda trash. Obviously since then he has seen so many different buffs and he's a lot more usable in the game right now. His drone got buffed as well, so he's just a much better legend as we speak, but when he first came into Season 3 he wasn't that good. One of the most frustrating and annoying additions in Season 3 was also the brand new gun, the charge rifle, which was basically a noob's best friend in Season 3. It was a very strong gun as well, and it was just a very frustrating and annoying gun to come up against. Also, a very big change that took place in Season 3 was the removal of disruptor rounds and the skull piercer, which was a very big deal because the wingman benefited so much from the skull piercer, and disruptor rounds were also very good in Season 2. So that also was a very notable change in Season 3. Honestly guys, Season 3 was my favorite season, mostly because I played Apex the most in Season 3 and I'm kind of biased as well, but it was just a very fun and an enjoyable season in my opinion. Now I obviously can't forget to mention just how strong skill-based matchmaking actually was in Season 3. I think everyone at the same time kind of noticed how different the game felt, like the matches were a lot sweatier as well, and pubs was just a very different experience in Season 3, so skill-based matchmaking was also a very big feature of Season 3. And last but not least guys, we have Season 4, which is currently underway, and Season 4 saw the introduction of the brand new legend Revenant. Revenant is in a very good place right now, mainly because of recent buffs, but when he first came into the game, when Season 4 first launched, he was not very good. I mean, he was fun to play, his backstory was also very interesting, but the legend himself, his abilities, especially his ultimate ability, wasn't very good when he first came into the game. Obviously in Season 4 we also had a map update with the harvesters being dropped into World's Edge, and honestly I kinda prefer the Season 3 version of World's Edge because the map was just easier to look at. But what do you guys think? Do you prefer the Season 3 version of World's Edge or the Season 4 version of World's Edge? We also saw a brand new sniper rifle in Season 4, the Sentinel, which was actually very balanced and still is a very balanced weapon in Apex. It's not OP, it's not too strong, it's not too weak, it's just a very decent and balanced sniper rifle in game. Respawn also introduced a brand new ranking system in Season 4 with the Master Tier, so we have a lot less Apex spread right now because of this. They also added in a Season 4 split, so at the middle of Season 4, Ranked was reset and the Ranked map was also changed to King's Canyon. But overall I think that Season 4 was a very decent season. We got like 2 separate events, we got some LTMs as well, and we also have permanent duos, so it was a pretty good season. What do you guys think of Season 4? Let me know right now. So that's basically a general overview of the evolution of Apex, and what was actually your favorite season? Was it Season 1, Season 2, Season 0? What was your favorite season of Apex? Comment right now and let me know. Hopefully Season 5 will be the best season we have seen so far, and I can't wait to see how it actually plays in game. So once again guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in some more Apex. Till next time.